can you do on bad days when life feels flat, stressful, or outright disappointing? You might have heard of gratitude practices and think that it's just a feel-good exercise. But used the right way, it's actually a powerful tool that you can use to improve how you feel no matter what is happening around you. I'm Angela. In this video, we'll talk about 3 simple but powerful ways to turn ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. We'll look at how some well-known people do it, and I'll also share my own experiences after trying out ideas from some great books about happiness. But first, how does gratitude actually work? Let's look at a surprising discovery by famous author and researcher Dr. Brene.
I think the relationship between joy and gratitude was one of the most important things I found in the research. I wasn't expecting it, but what I found, 12 years of research, 11,000 pieces of data, I did not interview in all that time a person who would describe themselves as joyful or describe their lives as joyous who did not actively practice gratitude. For me, it was very counterintuitive because I kind of went into the research thinking that the relationship between joy and gratitude was, if you're joyful, then you should be grateful. But it wasn't that way at all. It was really that practicing gratitude invites joy into our lives. There's a great quote that says, it's not joy that makes us grateful, it's gratitude that makes us joyful. It's by a Jesuit priest.
That's a really powerful insight. We often think that we'll feel grateful when things are going well, but the opposite is true. We feel happy and joyful when we are grateful, not the other way around. Gratitude rewires your brain by shifting your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful, so we can see beauty and opportunity in places that we might otherwise overlook. Let's just pause and digest that for a moment. It's not joy that makes us grateful, it is gratitude that makes us joyful. If you've ever tried common practices like gratitude journaling, you might find it refreshing at first. But over time, it can start to feel routine or even pointless. Like you're just going through the motions or forcing yourself to find something positive when you don't really feel it. So how can we practice gratitude in a way that feels natural and genuinely fulfilling? Well, there are 3 specific situations where gratitude can have the biggest impact on how we feel, even if we're not feeling really happy or positive in a moment. Let's dive into the first one. When life feels boring or ordinary. When was the last time you paused to appreciate a beautiful morning, a smooth commute, or a simple hug from someone that you love? These moments can feel so normal that we stop noticing them. And that's exactly why they're so easy to take for granted. I mean, it can be hard to feel grateful when life seems mundane or uneventful. You might think nothing exciting is happening, or even feel a bit restless thinking, what's there to be grateful for? This is where gratitude changes everything. By pausing to focus on these small, boring moments, we can actually turn what feels mundane into something quite extraordinary. It helps us to remember the value of the things that we already have, the very things that we would miss if they were gone. This really jumped out at me when I saw Michelle Obama describing how she and Barack celebrated their boring time together after leaving the White House.
You love boring times, yeah, sure.
We need, after 8 years in the White House, you want desperately to have. We celebrate the boring times. We look at each other and go, what are you doing? Nothing. We're like, yes!
It's not just about noticing these moments for yourself. Gratitude is also about appreciating the people who make your days meaningful or worth living for. Barack Obama often expressed gratitude for the contributions of the people around him, from teachers to health workers and his own family.
My conversations with you, the American people, in living rooms and in schools, at farms, on factory floors, at diners, and on distant military outposts. Those conversations are what have kept me honest and kept me inspired and kept me going. And every day I have learned from you. You made me a better president, and you made me a better man.
So the next time you catch yourself thinking, what a boring day, take a moment to flip your perspective. Ask yourself, what part of this normal day would I miss if it were gone? Maybe it's a peaceful morning with nothing urgent demanding your time or attention, or the way your partner made you laugh at a silly joke. These little things might not seem remarkable now, but they could be the very things that you cherish the most if they were no longer available. When we can appreciate the ordinary, we realize how abundant our lives already are. We stop waiting for the big moments to feel happy, and we start to find joy in what's already there. Here's an idea to take it one step further. Share your gratitude with someone who brightens your day. It could be as simple as telling a colleague, hey, I really appreciate that you made time to help me earlier. or texting a friend to say, "Thank you for being there for me when I really needed someone to talk to." These small gestures can lift both your spirits and theirs. But what about those times when life isn't ordinary but downright disappointing or painful? That's when gratitude can make an even bigger impact. Can you recall the last time you had a really bad day? Maybe your dog soiled the carpet in the morning, you were late for work, you had a stressful meeting, and then you had a pile of errands that left you completely overwhelmed. Or perhaps it was even rougher, like a really bad fight with your partner, or even losing your job. In moments like this, it might seem impossible to feel grateful for anything. When life is disappointing or painful, our natural reaction is to focus on what went wrong. We dwell on our frustrations, we replay our mistakes in our heads, and we start to question, why did things turn out the way they did? Gratitude can help us to break this negative cycle and regain perspective. As Michael Jordan famously said,
"I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed."
Denzel Washington also echoed this in his commencement address.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. In the acting business, you fail all the time. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed, and I prayed. But I continued to fail, and fail, and fail. But it didn't matter, because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut.
Both Jordan and Washington remind us that failure is a normal part of growth. But let's be honest, even if we accept this logically, it can still feel terrible when we are in the middle of a painful moment. Often, gratitude only comes in retrospect, after we've had the time to process things and move on. So how can we shift our perspective in the moment? Instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? We can ask, what is this moment teaching me? And how can I grow from this challenge? Here's another inspiring clip of Michael Jordan emphasizing the importance of perspective in disappointments.
To win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am.
Gratitude isn't just for life's big challenges. It also helps with everyday disappointments. It stops negative thoughts from making a mountain out of a molehill. Let me share a quick story. A few months back, my boyfriend and I were out for a date night. It was basically dinner with live music, and I've been looking forward to some quality time together. But when we got there, it turned out that a backup band was playing, and they were really not that good. On top of that, some work emails came in, and he was on his phone more than I liked. So I started to think, hello, what happened to our quality time together? He picked up on my silent vibes and responded in kind. And the evening basically ended on a pretty sour note. So the next time something like that happened, I reminded myself not to get hung up on my own expectations, just to be present and appreciate the fact that he made time for me and had put in effort into the evening. This simple shift improved the mood, and the night turned out to be so much better. So far, we've explored how gratitude can help us to cherish the ordinary and frame the disappointing. But what about when life gets so busy that we forget to practice gratitude at all? Chances are you have heard someone say, you should practice gratitude every day. But let's face it, some days are just so hectic that all you want to do is to collapse into bed at the end of it and call it a night. The busier we get, the harder it becomes to notice the good things in our lives. We get swept up in the tasks, deadlines, and distractions, and gratitude starts to feel like something that we can just park aside until we totally forget about it. I get that too, because every now and then, I also find myself slipping on my gratitude practice. But when life seems chaotic, that's exactly when we need gratitude the most, because it helps us to slow down, stay grounded, and refocus on what really matters. Oprah Winfrey often shares how gratitude transformed her life, and her practice is surprisingly simple. She starts and ends each day with gratitude.
When I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing I think. I train myself to say thank you first, before you start with, what am I going to do? Even this morning in the hotel, I was like, what is the noise outside? Thank you. You go to thank you first. You start your day with thank you, and I end my day with thank you. And that is my spiritual practice. That is my deepest, greatest spiritual practice. And training myself to do that, and if you train yourself to do that, you walk through life feeling the abundance instead of the scarcity.
I love that. Gratitude doesn't have to feel like a chore. You can simply start and end your day with Oprah's practice of saying thank you. Then repeat those words each time you come across something that you feel genuinely grateful for. Whether it's a cozy bed, a hot cup of coffee, or a nice word from someone. By taking just a moment to register these small joys, you create a sense of abundance, even in the busiest of days. And if you can, pause to savor those moments just before you go to bed. These small gestures can transform how you experience life. So as you can see, gratitude isn't just about listing down the things that you're grateful for. It's about shifting your perspective in the moment to invite joy and meaning into each day. And choosing to be happy regardless of whether life seems ordinary, disappointing, or overwhelmingly busy. Try out some or all of the ideas in this video to remind yourself that you already have a lot to be thankful for. You can also check out the description below for links to the videos that we have shown, as well as links to great books for inviting gratitude and happiness into our lives. Share this video with those who brighten your day, and subscribe to Growth Garden for more insights on how to get more from life with less. Let's keep growing together, and I'll see you in the next video.